Hey, beautiful besties. Happy Thursday. Of course, by the time this uploads, it will probably be Friday. So let me be the first to wish you a happy Friday, my loves. Yeah, so we have something super fun today. We have a moon phase bracelet brought to you by the Bargain Bead Box. But of course, before we get into that, we need to pick us a card. How are you guys today? I hope you guys have a lovely day. Uh-oh, looks like we picked two cards. Okay, just one call. Just one. All right. Oh, that's pretty. Be a sunflower. Stand tall and find sunlight on the darkest days. You guys, I probably really need to see this today because I had I don't want to get into a whole lot because we're trying to stay positive and light, but I did have a really bad panic attack today, induced by some bad storms that we got. It was just but we, guess what, friends, guess what, we got through it, we got past it, and we are moving on, my friends. So let me bring in the beads that we are going to be using today. So we're going to be using some of these beautiful crescent moons, and then we're also going to be using these blue pressed glass full moons, and then some of these little spacers, and then this fold over clasp, which one or two of you amazing friends wrote in the comments about how we do this. So now I know it's the skinny part. You open the skinny part, and this actually unattaches itself. So it's two pieces, and then they would, and this is what was throwing me off because they connect like this. So you actually have to take this one and go over and slide it in and then close it. So pretty simple now that we know how to do it. And also for our design today, we're going to be bringing in some of this gorgeous dark blue lapis, soft flex. And of course, all of our soft flex things. We've got some 4mm jump rings, and then we've got some crimp tubes. I did not make earrings for whatever reason, but that is okay, friends, because we have a couple of extra of these, and this is just such beautiful wire. I think we're going to make a pair of earrings together. Real simple soft flex earrings. I have an idea in mind, and it should not take long. All right, friends, but before we get into that, I do want to run something past you guys. I made this design. I'm going to bring in a bead mat. So I made this design with, it's pretty. So first of all, how do we feel about the moons inside of the moons? Is that too many moons? Let me lay it out. So I made this necklace, and this is just a sample piece. I guess they go inside. I don't even know. So that's why there's no closures or anything. It's just a sample piece. And so this is, I don't know if I love it. So I just thought I would get an opinion. Here's the focal. Let me just kind of make this a little bit neater. I don't know. What do we think, friends? So we have this like crescent moon face focal with the chain. We have the moons inside of the moons. I don't know if we love that. I don't know about this color. I don't know. I'm trying to lay it out so you guys can see it. I know I sound like I'm stumbling right now. But the reason I'm asking, guys, is because it took me a while to put this together, and I'm just wondering, is it worth putting together on the channel? What do you guys think about it? I don't know. I think we're gonna come up with something different. I mean, I don't know. I think we're gonna take that one back to the project board. Okay, friends, enough shenanigans. I see. This is why I needed to ask you guys, because you all helped me make up my mind that that necklace wasn't the best. Okay, we'll keep working on it. I might keep the focal part, but I think I'm going to maybe rework the length part. All right, friends, so let's take our beads out. So like I said, this is what we have. And take our moons out. And then we're just going to go ahead and gently dump those out. I thought that would be really good for a presentation. I probably could have kept all these beads in there, but that's okay. I like when our materials are out and about, so we can all see what they are. Okay, so that's what we have. And we're going to get our soft flex, and let's cut some wire, friends. This is going to be a really quick tutorial. I'm probably talking more than we're actually going to work. But it's just a beautiful bracelet and super fun. So I'm going to cut myself about 10 inches sounds about right. When I did the sample of this, the bracelet came out. I didn't attach it. I just kind of guesstimated, and it came out to about a little over 7 inches. So we'll see. We'll see, my friends, how we're doing. And I'm just gonna, it's so hot in here. Like, my glasses are fogging up, and I have to just do that. Okay. Oh, and guys, you know what else? I was cleaning my office a little bit last night, and look, I found this bag. This is all like full pieces of wire. Like, I don't know why. And there's a lot of soft flex in here, like colors. There's some of the pink and the yellow and the purple. I'm not really sure why. It's probably been in that drawer for about 3 years. So my younger self knew why, but I certainly don't know why. But anyway, I'm gonna challenge myself to just make a bunch of necklaces with all that with all that bead stringing wire, because I don't want it to go to waste. All right, friends, so you can either do one of two things. We can crimp first and then work on this, or you can put wire, well, you could put bead stoppers on here, and you can kind of bead from the middle out. I already know what my pattern is, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my first crimp. And let's pick out, oh no, looks like one of my pliers are missing. Oh, there it is, over the side. Okay, so let's pick out 2 gold crimp tubes. And I'm also probably going to need gold, I got to get some more crimp tubes, guys. I'm starting to run low. Oh, Jennifer Miller. I could use some crimp tubes. I'm just kidding. I'll get my own. I'm a big girl. I can get my own. It's fine. All right, I'm pulling out 4 because I'm going to have 2 probably for the earrings, so I don't want to have to do that again. All right, so let me put those to the side. Oh, no, they just rolled off. That's fine. We'll get them. All right, friends, let's do this. Let's crimp us an end here. So I'm just going to take this, and I'm not going to put wire guardians on. That's just personal preference. I don't think that this bracelet is really going to need them. It's not very heavy. I don't think there's going to be a whole ton of abrasion. And also, I have this gorgeous wire that I want to kind of show, right? And if we put a wire guardian on it, you won't see it. So maybe I'm just being for cosmetic sake. We're going to not put a wire guardian on. And honestly, guys, this soft flex wire, you really honestly don't need it. I mean, you know, it's a really, really strong wire. All right, it's heavily coated for our protection. All right, so let's go ahead. And we don't need a huge loop because our clasp is going to take up a little bit of room, because that's kind of a bigger clasp, so we don't need a whole large loop here, so about that big, and we're going to go ahead and crimp that. And so you have this box shape, and then we're going to bring it to the side, and we're going to make sure we line it up in these pliers. It's really important that you line it up, because if you don't, you could have a weird looking ravioli, starfish, whatever. And then we're going to give it the little rotisserie crimp, and I might have made that, wow, I made that loop really, really tiny. That is about the tiniest loop I think I've ever seen. It's okay, friends, it's okay. Because we are going to use jump rings as well. So I'm just going to cut this little baby end here, because we don't need him. He can go. He can go. All right, let me set out this little scrap cup. All right, and how I laid out these beads, since these moon beads, if you were to put them like this, they kind of look like they're smiling to me. So I think it's cool that we put them on the side. Now you just have to make a decision. Do you want all your moons going the same way? And so what I'm going to do is the first couple, the moons are going to be going out this side. And then on this end, the moons are going to be going out this side. And then we'll have like we'll have 3 groupings of moons with half moons. But the one in the middle, the third, that will be the center. Guys, I'm not making sense today. I'm sorry. I'm just like, I've had such a day. All right, so we're going to put 2 spacers here, and then we're going to start one of our phases. So we're going to take one of these crescent moons, and it's going to go inwards. And then we're going to just put 1 spacer. And then we're also going to put this one with the moon going that way, like the first one. Okay, and then 1 spacer. Of course, if they flip around, no, it's still going the same direction. That's nice to know. And then we're going to put one of these crescents the opposite way. So we are hugging this little blue coin. So let me show you. what that looks like. So that's what we have so far. So we have one guy over here, 2 spacers in between, and then we have a phase with 1 spacer in between each bead. So then we're going to come over here and then we're going to grab 2 more spacers because we're all about symmetry with this one. Okay. And then we're going to put a single phase, and again, that's going to go this way. And then our next phase is going to be basically the center of our bracelet. So we're going to do 2 spacers, and then we're going to start our second middle phase. So again, this is going to be going this way. Now with this one, I'm going to put the moon going this way, and then with the other ones, the moon's going to go the other way. And again, you can have your moons going all the same way. Oops, you're right. Thank you. Thank you so much, my beautiful friend, for letting me know I forgot to put a spacer on. I appreciate you. All right. Okay, and then 1 spacer. And then the other half of our moon. And that is so pretty. And then of course, before we crimp, we'll make sure all of our phases are going, all of our moons are on the golder side. So everybody's facing the right, that's your crimp tube, Kyle. So everybody's facing the right direction. Okay. So now our moons are going to go facing this way. So we're just going to do 1, right? 2 spacers. And then we're going to do our final phase. Oh no. Like my fingers did not want to leave the wire. Okay. Okay. So our moon goes this way. And then a spacer. These spacers are really pretty. And then we have a moon that goes that way, in the opposite direction of the other ones. And then a spacer. And then our last crescent. Okay. And then 2 spacers. And I didn't put spacers on the end because we'll have our crimp beads there, so it'll kind of look like spacers. And then our final moon going that direction. So this is what we have. Okay. Then we're going to put that down. And yeah, and I like this, how these moons are going this way and these moons are going this way. They're kind of meeting in the middle. I think that's super cute. All right, so we're going to crimp this side now. We're going to put our tube on, and of course I cut myself a ton of wire, which is fine because I'll probably be able to use this 1 scrap for our earrings. We'll see. We're going to do a very minimal earring, I think. I might not have enough if I run it through this bead, and that's okay. So I'm going to run that through this bead, and that's sometimes too why I cut myself extra, because I do like to run it through a bead. Because it kind of helps in our crimping area. Okay, so we're going to bring that down, and now what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of pull everything down, pull our loop down, and then we're going to take our bracelet and we're just going to kind of make sure it's flexible, give it a little of this, and then we'll put it like so, making sure we don't crunch a crimp. Crimp a crunch. You know what I meant, guys. You know what I meant. All right, so we're going to come in here with our tool, and that is a little loop too. I'm just going to make that loop slightly bigger. I think that'll be good. Maybe just slightly a little bit more, slightly. Okay. Searching, there we go. All right. It's kind of like stuck in there. Okay, that's good. There we go. Let's go ahead and crimp this guy. And we're just getting that together, making sure it's not right up against the bead, because we don't want to crack anything. And that's our nice little square, and then we'll go to the side, and then we'll do our rotisserie. And like I said, we are going to add some jump rings, because I like a little bit, when we're using a different kind of clasp or a toggle, I like to put jump rings so we can have a little bit of articulation. But if you just wanted to crimp your clasp right on, you can. I mean, that's really not a big piece of scrap, so I feel better about myself now. So this is what we have. Here we go. Look how pretty. And all the moons. Did I check to make sure they were all on the gold side? You know, it's hard. Do they got gold on both sides? Well, they are going to spin around a little bit, friends, and that's okay. That's okay. So, but that's beautiful. That is beautiful. All right, so we're going to grab some jump rings here. And these are just 4mm jump rings that I have. But these are 18 gauge stainless steel, or are they 20 gauge? 20 gauge stainless steel. I don't think I have any 18 and 4mm. I think all of my 4s are 20. Because they're just little, so I don't think the 18 is really necessary per se. All right, so I'm going to take apart this toggle situation. And there's really no front or back to this bracelet, which I also do kind of enjoy because, you know, it just makes it easier to put the clasp on if there's no front or back. Okay, so we're going to open up one of these little guys, and I hope these are going to be big enough. We'll see. Okay, this guy's going to go in here, and then we'll attach our, and you do want to make sure, we'll make sure that, they'll be on the correct sides at least. Okay, I might need my other pliers. These are really small jump rings. Because I don't want to add a lot of length here. But like I said, I did want a little bit of articulation because it's just easier, I feel like, sometimes. Especially with this little fold over clasp, since you kind of have to like take it above and then bring it back over. I think having that little bit of jump ring there will be nice. It might make it a little too long. We'll see, friends. We'll see. Okay. So then this guy, I guess, would attach like this. Yeah. Okay. That would make sense. And then hopefully it's not 10 miles long. It's looking a little long, friends. I'm getting a little worried. Let's do this part first. Right. Make sure that's our front. So this guy would go on like so. And then we'll cross our fingers. I probably will be selling this one, so hopefully we can get it to no bigger than 7.5 inches, because I find that larger bracelets, like larger than 7.5 inches, and this has just been what I found, don't sell really well. Now I have friends, that being said, I do have friends that have requested larger bracelets, so I've done a lot of custom larger bracelets. That's so pretty. It looks so big, though. It's probably 8 inches. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is. I called that one 8 inches. Okay, so that's a mighty big bracelet. So what we will probably do is probably take out and just do one spacer. If we just did one spacer in between each, I think that would really... that will really help our bracelet. I'm just going to put it on because I'm going to have to restring it anyway. But I just want to put it on and see, and that clasp is not very difficult to put on if it's a little bit longer. So I think if we take those spacers out, we might get to 7.5. But I don't want, like, if it's 7 inches, I mean, that would be good too, but I like the little bit of extra room since this is a fold over clasp. So, but anyway, guys, I will probably have to make that a little bit smaller, but that is what she looks like. Yeah, so I think we'll just take out one of, and I think that should really bring that down. So let's make some earrings, because I did not make earrings. You know, I could probably... How horrible would it be if I you know what I'm gonna do, friends? You know what I'm gonna do real quick? I'm just gonna go real quick. I'm gonna restring this and see if that is any better, and then we'll be right back. And we're back, friends. And so I did my bracelet edits, and look where we're at right now. We are right below 7.25, right above 7.5. And all I did was I just took out the extra spacer. So now we just have one little spacer in between each, and that worked out really, really well. So yeah, so that's a beautiful bracelet, and I did make a simple pair of earrings. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. So here's our earrings. And guys, I did say they were sample because we don't need a whole lot here. And I wanted to showcase this gorgeous bead stringing wire. So this is all we did. And these are, I've made these kind of earrings so many times. So, but I'm going to make them again, guys, because they're beautiful, and I love hanging out with you guys. And we might have some new viewers that have never made these before. So we're going to take this, and this is about a 4-inch piece. And I only did just a couple of these. So I did 4 on each side. So we're going to do 4 of these little spacers on each side. Okay, there's 4. And then we're going to put one of our moons on. It doesn't matter which way. I am going to mirror these moons so they're facing in towards the face. So they are going to mirror each other, or out, you know, facing outwards. It doesn't really matter. But right now I'm just getting the beads on. And then when we put our ear wire on, that will show what our direction is, right? So that's easy. Now you have one of 2 options here. Oh, you know what? I have to get another crimp tube out. Sorry about that, guys. I had some difficulties making my first earring. I don't know I did a circle because I thought, oh, let's make a circle because it'll be the shape of the moon. And I thought that was great. And I'm going to show you that in a second, guys. But I decided I didn't really love how that looked. So this is what you can do. So you can do this one of 2 ways. So we made a teardrop here. If you want to make a round shape, excuse me, cat, you're going to want to put your crimp tube on one strand like this. And then you're going to take this strand and you're going to go in through this way. Sorry about the desk shaking. My cats are... Gemma, stop. My goodness. Sometimes I can't wait until the weather gets a little bit nicer and I can close my door. Gemma, I'm going to bring the air out. Miss. Thank you. So guys, if you've got pesky cats in your office, it's perfect because it doesn't hurt them. It's not mean. It's just a little spray of air. And I don't even spray them. I just spray like next to them, and the sound freaks them out. So you're going to want to bring them through here like this, and then you'll take one end, and I of course didn't leave myself enough wire to show you, but you'll take one end and you'll go around. Let's just, for poops and giggles, you'll take one end and you'll go completely over the crimp. And then you will enter, and I don't want to bend this wire up too much, but you'll enter the crimp from this way and then pull it through, and that will give you a little loop, and that will give you a round shape. But we want a teardrop, so we're going to do this a little different. So we're going to get both of our wires together. And yeah, when it's nicer in here, I can close the door. We won't have so many distractions, guys. I do apologize. I mean, I love my cats to death. I really do, but... like, can they just give me a half an hour a day where they're just, you know, not doing things like that? That would be great. They literally have been sleeping all day. And of course, as soon as I start filming, they want to act a fool. All right, so we put this on both of our bead string and wires, and you can see already it's kind of forming this teardrop. What I want to do is I want to separate my wires out and make sure they're not crossing each other. And that's just... makes the crimping process a little easier. So these are separated on either side. So I'm going to take one of these wires, and it doesn't matter which one, and I'm going to go down the middle in between both of those wires, right back down through the crimp tube, and I'm going to pull it the other side, and you'll be able to see what that looks like. And now we have to, since we already did make an earring, so this wire behind here, this will control your loop, right? That will make your loop bigger, smaller. This wire is just a stabilizing wire you can hold on to. So since we already made one of these earrings, we're going to compare because we want to make these as close to each other as possible. And I'm thinking that's going to be good. We'll just make this loop a little bit smaller. But I think the rest of that is going to be pretty spot on, my friends. Pretty spot on, I think. Yeah, maybe just a little bit shorter here, and then make this loop a little bit smaller, and then I think that will be perfect. Oh no, now it looks like now we gotta make the loop bigger. This is the part, guys, you just mess around with it a little bit. We're gonna pull this up a little, make our loop a little bit bigger. And it's okay if you have to mess around a little bit because we want to make it right. And what I'm comparing is, these look pretty even here, so then I'm just comparing the top of the loops here, and I think that's looking pretty good. It might be a little off, but that's okay, friends. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect. So holding this wire down here, which is the loop wire, I'm just holding that in place so our loop doesn't go anywhere, because this is very important that we want to crimp with this loop facing us. So we want to make sure that that loop is facing forward, and it is, and we're going to line up our pliers and we're going to crimp. Now when you're doing your rotisserie, instead of turning the pliers, we're going to turn the component, because we want to make sure that that loop stays facing forward. And I did. Bobo, stop shaking the desk. My goodness. Just like a half an hour in a CFZ, which is cat-free zone. Okay, guys. This one the loop might be a little bit smaller on this one, and that's okay. I'm just trying to pretty up this crimp because I might have mangled it just a tiny bit. Okay, there we go. And then we're just going to go back here and we're going to trim all this stuff. So this wire is behind this loop. So I'll take my cutters and slide my cutters behind that loop. Hold this wire with some tension and cut, because we're trying to get it cut as close as possible. So again, we're going to make sure that this cutter is not, you know, interfering with any other wires. We're going to pull it taut and cut. So this way that will cut that nice and short, and we won't see any of, oops, as I throw it across my table. Oh no, it looks a little bit smaller, guys. I did all that measuring and it's a little bit off, but I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. They don't have to be twins, friends. They don't have to be twins. And we just have a gold pair of ear wires. So now let's see here. So this moon is facing out. So this moon is facing this way. So that's the way we want that to go, because I want them to mirror each other. Okay. And then I'm just going to close these gently. These are really pretty. They're really pretty late gold coil. I think they're a little bit soft though, but I think they are nickel free. All right. Oh, it is a little off, guys. One is definitely, they're cousins. Kyle is off her game today, my friends. One is definitely a little bit smaller than the other one. Not too bad, I guess. I don't know, friends, but that's what we have. So there is our bracelet and our simple earrings. I hope you enjoyed this. I guess they're not too bad. I guess when I was holding them up, they looked a little, let me hang them on the cone and see what they look like. Oh, friends. Hold on, I'm trying to see how I can show you them on the cone. They're actually really good. Okay, they're not that bad. I thought they looked a little off to me, but they're actually pretty good. They're slightly off, but hardly. They look great. Okay, friends. So there is our beautiful bracelet. Oh, guys, excuse me. I also wanted to let you guys know that tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific time, I believe is what they said. I'm not sure. You'll have to look and see. I'll leave the bargain bead box, all the information in the description box. But tomorrow, I think 3 o'clock my time, which is Eastern, the companion bundle is going up. Guys, I will leave Lauren's unboxing of the companion pack, the companion bundle. I'll leave Lauren's unboxing in the description box because it's gorgeous and it's like I'm going to get it. I actually set my alarm because I am super excited about the bundle, about the companion bundle. So I'm going to set my alarm and we're going to grab it tomorrow. I'm not sure how much it's going to be. She didn't say, but I'm pretty sure we can use our 30% code, guys. So if you are a subscriber, don't forget to use your code. And then guess what? Tomorrow is also, my friends, tomorrow is one of my favorite days of the month. We get to open our Sam's bead box. I'm so excited. And also there's a live sale tomorrow for, I believe it's tomorrow in the box extras for Sam's. Go on sale tomorrow. So I'll also, guys, tomorrow I feel like I'm just gonna go broke. I'm gonna empty every pocket tomorrow, and that's okay because sometimes we need to spoil ourselves a little bit. and do all those things. So guys, anyway, I've talked long enough. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you have a great weekend. We'll be back tomorrow with our Sam's unboxing. I'm super excited about that. Keep planting your magical beans, keep being kind to each other, and keep going and growing, my friends, because you are absolutely gorgeous and amazing. And I'm just so happy to share oxygen with you on this planet. Okay, my loves, until next time, bye.